Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here in our downtown studios in Lansing, Michigan. We're going to run down the road now to Ann Arbor. We're going to spend a little time with one of our favorite guests, as a matter of fact, Emily Heintz. She's the founder and managing director of EntryPoint, which is in Ann Arbor, as a matter of fact. And you know, one of the things we love is that you always bring new information to us, and you've done it again here.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this entrepreneurial piece that you've done for the city of Detroit.
Yeah, so this is the seventh year we've been doing this research. Started publishing things a little bit more annually about 4 years ago. And it has been like a really great piece of research on the startup community in Detroit. And we have seen a quarter of the startup communities located in Detroit. We see about 50% in Ann Arbor region, and then broadly throughout the rest of the state. But there are 38 startup companies in the Detroit region. So it's like tremendous growth in that area. It's been like a 58% increase in the number of companies that are located in Detroit in just the years that we've been doing this research. So it's like really exciting to do.
You know, it's kind of interesting because I mean, this is for a while. This was kind of the economic savior of Detroit with all the entrepreneurs starting. And I think of all the things we've done down there with the resources that they have, and Ned over there at the tech center and spinouts, et cetera.
Yeah.
So what did you find with this most recent research?
The big headline is just the amount of capital that the startup community is attracting there. So in the last 7 years that we've been doing this research, we've seen a 333% increase in the amount of venture capital being attracted by startup companies located in the Detroit region. So it's like it's $806 million. You know, you saw StockX last year had raised a $275 million round. So we are seeing like just a significant increase in the amount of capital that's being raised by startup companies there, where we used to, the first few years of doing the research, we were seeing a lot of like new companies starting up. And then in the last couple of years, we've seen like a really good density building where these companies are scaling, and they're, Bloomscape's got over 100 employees now. Floyd's doing really well. Breadless just opened in downtown Detroit, and they're now like starting to really amass a significant amount of capital there. So that's really promising to see, because then comes with that is like the talent and talent attraction and greater community building. And so it's really exciting to see kind of where things are headed, and that during this last year, the tech community there didn't seem to be as significantly impacted as in some other regions.
You know, it's interesting, Emily. It wasn't that long ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I remember sitting with the head of Beringia, Michigan, and I said to him, "What brought you guys here from Silicon Valley?" And he said, "Detroit is the land of opportunity right now." And that's how they were looking at it, because we were short venture capital in the state of Michigan at the time.
Yeah, and we definitely still are. I mean, there still is, like, if you look at the capital need of companies located here compared to the amount of capital available for new companies statewide, there's still plenty of room for more venture capital. And we do see a lot of capital coming in from outside of the state, which is also great. New capital flowing around in Michigan is always a good thing. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of opportunity in Michigan and the Midwest right now.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, another interesting fact came out of, and I'm so glad to see this, the number of ventures that are people of color as CEOs.
Yeah, and that's one thing we track really closely, is because 78% of the population in Detroit are Black people. And so you want to see that mirrored in the startup community. Is not quite mirrored in the amount of capital raised, but there are 10 of the 38 are led by people of color. And we focus on that gap and whether the startup community is growing with the overall community or away from the overall community. So I think that'll be something we continue to track really closely.
So is there any, can you put this is the type of company that's come? Because a lot of times, like I look at Ann Arbor, a lot of it is technology, right? It's spin outs from the college, et cetera, et cetera. What's Detroit's mix?
Detroit has a lot of software companies. We have seen those. They're not as capital intensive as life science companies are, and are pretty mobile. And certainly with mobility industry, like a lot of that overlaps with software. So we've got a lot of really good synergies there. But I mean, you see companies like Breadless, which is intends to franchise, but they're a food-based business. And you see companies like Detroit Made, which is a platform for housekeeping services. And so I think that's really important, is like creating that diversity of industry within the community. And then that'll really pay off in the future when we're kind of going through different economic storms.
No, that's really good. That diversity on all levels, actually. And Emily, it's always good to spend time with you. I suspect we'll see you very soon because you're always coming forward with new information.
Definitely.
We thrive on that. So thank you. We appreciate it.
Yay.
All right.
I
Emily
will see you
Heintz,
soon.
founder and managing director of EntryPoint in Ann Arbor. Thanks for being with us again. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right. You're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman. We'll be right back with you.